In the fascinating realm of sleep psychology, there is a highly effective cognitive technique known as the brain shuffling game. This method operates on a simple yet powerful mechanism: cognitive distraction. Tonight, when you lie down, close your eyes and try to visualize a vibrant green ball. Hold that image in your mind's eye for just a few seconds, then let it fade away to make room for a gentle bamboo branch swaying gracefully in the wind. Next, let your mind drift to a hand-woven fan, then to a rooster crowing, a single golden leaf falling, or a small boat bobbing gently on quiet waters. The golden rule here is absolute randomness. These images must be entirely disconnected, refusing to weave themselves into any coherent narrative. It is precisely this illogical, nonsensical flow that tricks the brain. By depriving it of a logical sequence, you force your mind to exit its analytical, anxiety-driven loop and slide smoothly into a relaxed, subconscious state. Many people find themselves drifting off so quickly that they cannot even recall which image they were visualizing last. They slip effortlessly into a peaceful slumber. But what if your mind is already quiet, yet those peaceful images drift away while sleep still stubbornly eludes you? The reason is that soothing the mind is merely the tip of the iceberg. Hidden deep within our physical body lies a secret switch, a highly sensitive part of our nervous system that we frequently overlook. This switch has nothing to do with your running thoughts, nor does it depend on your sleeping posture. Surprisingly, it is right there, mapped directly onto your face. Take a moment to pause, turn your awareness inward, and ask yourself, are your teeth unconsciously clenched tightly together right now? Is the space between your eyebrows furrowed in a subtle frown? Is the tip of your tongue tense, pressing firmly against the roof of your mouth? Most of us are completely oblivious to these microtensions. Your brain, however, registers them loud and clear. As long as these tiny muscle groups remain rigid, your nervous system interprets them as a danger signal, assuming the body is still on high alert and that it is not yet safe to rest. To break this cycle, try these 3 incredibly simple steps. First, part your lips slightly to separate your teeth, allowing your lower jaw to hang loose and heavy, surrendering entirely to gravity. Second, completely relax your tongue. Let it rest gently in the bottom of your mouth, neither pressing against your teeth nor pushing up against your palate. Finally, imagine a stream of cool, refreshing water gently flowing down between your eyebrows, smoothing out your forehead, soothing the delicate muscles around your eyes, and washing over your temples. With every slow exhalation, feel your entire face growing softer, lighter, almost melting into the comfort of your pillow. Only when these facial muscles completely let go does your brain receive the ultimate green light to initiate deep, restorative sleep. Yet, if you have diligently practiced both techniques and sleep still feels out of reach, there is one last, powerful secret weapon: your breath. The breath is the ultimate boundary, the exact reason why some people fall asleep within minutes while others lie awake tossing and turning all night. Relax, let go, and allow me to explain this final key. This third secret is the 4-7-8 breathing method. Do not think of this as a dry, tedious counting exercise. It is a natural tranquilizer, a powerful tool designed to help you regain control over your sleep. Before you begin, lie comfortably on your back, keeping your pillow moderately low. Place one hand gently on your chest and the other on your abdomen, just below your navel. This position allows you to monitor your breath. When performed correctly, only the hand on your stomach should rise and fall, while the hand on your chest remains almost perfectly still. Part your lips slightly, then place the tip of your tongue gently against the tissue right behind your upper front teeth, a position that aligns your energy meridians, and let us begin. Step 1. Inhale quietly through your nose for a slow count of 4. Focus your awareness on directing the breath deep into your abdomen. Imagine you are pouring water into a soft balloon, letting your belly expand gradually while keeping your shoulders and chest relaxed and still. Step 2. Hold your breath for a count of 7. This is the crucial turning point of this ancient practice. While holding the air in, keep your body completely soft and relaxed, resisting any urge to tense up. The slight increase in lung pressure coaxes a racing heart to slow down. In Eastern medicine, this is known as removing the firewood from under the boiling pot. By anchoring your energy in the lower abdomen, you extinguish the fires of anxiety in your brain, bringing an immediate sense of coolness and clarity to your mind. Step 3. Exhale completely through your mouth for a count of 8, releasing all that built-up pressure. Part your lips slightly and let out a slow, steady whoosh sound. There is no need to blow hard. Just feel your belly gently contract and your entire body sink heavily into the mattress. Making the exhalation twice as long as the inhalation acts as a powerful command to your nervous system. The danger has passed. It is safe to sleep. Every ounce of tightness in your chest will be swept away. Remember, you do not need to stress over precise seconds. Focus instead on the golden ratio. Inhale for 1 part, hold for nearly double, and exhale for double that time. Simply repeat this soothing cycle 4 times, taking less than 2 minutes in total, and you will feel your muscles soften and your heart rate settle into its gentlest rhythm. Sleep will roll in like a gentle wave, quietly washing away the last remnants of wakefulness into a state of pure, serene peace. But why does insomnia sometimes trace its roots back to the liver? According to the millennial wisdom of Eastern medicine, the hours between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. are the peak active period of the liver meridian. When we close our eyes and lie down, the blood that carried the fatigue of a demanding day quietly pools back into the liver. This is a sacred, quiet window of time for the liver to cleanse the system, filtering out metabolic wastes, purifying the bloodstream, and storing fresh, vital blood to nourish the body when morning comes. However, if our minds are burdened with daytime worries, or if unhealthy lifestyle habits have overloaded our systems, the liver becomes congested, trapping heat. Eastern medicine describes this vivid condition as hyperactive liver fire, a silent, smoldering heat within the organ. Carrying this internal fire exhausts the liver during its crucial recovery hours. This rising heat ascends to the chest, bringing a restless, stifling sensation that forces the brain to wake up. You might notice that when you wake up during this specific window, you greet the morning with a bitter taste in your mouth, a dry throat, heavy eyes, and a highly unstable mood. This is not just random insomnia. It is a plea for rest from an exhausted, depleted liver. To prevent waking up abruptly between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., try soothing your liver tonight with these 3 incredibly gentle steps. Step 1. Awaken the warmth. Lie down comfortably, relax your body, and rub your palms together briskly until you feel a soothing, gentle heat radiating from them. Step 2. Massage the ribcage. Place your warm palms gently on your sides, just below your armpits. Using soft, steady pressure, sweep your hands downward along the curve of your ribs, gliding all the way to your lower abdomen. Step 3. Release the breath naturally. As your hands glide down, do not worry about counting. Simply part your lips and let out a long, gentle sigh, a soft whoosh sound. Let your breath match the rhythm of your hands naturally. Repeat this nurturing gesture about 36 times. The liver meridian runs directly beneath the ribs. With each stroke and breath, you release the pent-up tension, frustration, and excess heat accumulated during the day. As the liver cools down and finds peace, your body will easily slip back into a deep, uninterrupted slumber until dawn. By this point, your mind has quieted, your jaw has relaxed, and your liver has been gently comforted. The upper half of your body is now in a state of absolute serenity. Yet, The deep roots of longevity and profound sleep lie hidden in the areas that often carry the heaviest burdens: your stomach and your feet. Let us journey further. Why does your stomach dictate how well you sleep? There is a fascinating secret few people realize. 90% of serotonin, the hormone responsible for peace and happiness, along with a massive reserve of melatonin, the primary sleep-regulating hormone, are not manufactured in your brain. Instead, they are produced by the billions of tiny, beneficial microbes living peacefully in your gut. Your stomach is essentially a vast, natural pharmacy, the very birthplace of deep relaxation. Yet, we often unknowingly disrupt this delicate garden. Out of habit or reluctance to waste food, we might eat a heavy, greasy dinner late at night, drink ice-cold water, or consume rich, hard-to-digest dishes. When these heavy foods hit the digestive tract, your system is forced to work overtime. Instead of resting and sending nourishing signals to the brain, your organs exhaust themselves trying to process the excess load. When this internal factory is overwhelmed, it halts the production of calming hormones. Your brain, waiting in vain for relaxation signals, remains on high alert, leaving you tossing and turning in frustration. Ancient physicians captured this truth in a profound saying: an uneasy stomach leads to restless sleep. If your digestion is not at peace, a truly restorative sleep is nearly impossible to achieve. So, how do we coax sleep back through the stomach? As we age, dinner should favor light, simple nourishment. Eating until you are just 70% full is the sweet spot. A warm bowl of lotus seed soup, a light vegetable broth, or a comforting glass of warm milk is all it takes to soothe your stomach. Steer clear of greasy, heavy, or starchy foods, and let your digestive system rest after 7 p.m. When your stomach is light and comfortable, the core of your body radiates a gentle warmth, sending a soothing, wordless melody to your brain, signaling that everything is peaceful below and that it is safe to drift off. But how can your feet cause you to wake up for middle-of-the-night bathroom trips? Modern medicine has recently shed light on this frustrating cycle, revealing that nighttime urination is not always about how much water you drank before bed. Often, it is driven by a simple physical law acting on your feet. During the day, as we stand, sit, or walk, gravity continuously pulls fluids downward, causing them to pool in our calves and ankles. This is why your legs may feel swollen, heavy, or tight by the end of a long day. When you finally lie down at night, your body transitions to a horizontal plane. Without gravity holding the fluid in your lower extremities, the water accumulated during the day begins to flow back into your bloodstream, heading straight to your kidneys for filtration. The sudden influx of fluid in the middle of the night quickly fills your bladder, forcing your brain to wake you up. Eastern medicine views this as a weakness in kidney qi, which fails to transform fluids, leading to stagnation in the lower body. How do we break this disruptive cycle? To put an end to nighttime bathroom trips, you do not need to dehydrate yourself. Instead, simply clear the fluid buildup in your legs before sleeping with a highly relaxing routine. About an hour before bedtime, lie down comfortably and prop your legs up on a soft pillow, ensuring your ankles are slightly higher than your heart. Maintain this relaxing posture for 15 to 20 minutes. This simple elevation harnesses gravity to guide the excess fluid out of your lower legs and back to your kidneys to be processed while you are still awake. Once the kidneys finish their work, simply empty your bladder one last time before turning off the lights. With your bladder completely empty and your legs relieved of their daytime burden, you can look forward to a deep, uninterrupted sleep until morning, free from chilly middle-of-the-night trips. Why is deep sleep far more precious than merely getting 8 hours of sleep? Many assume that a flat 8 hours is the golden ticket to health. However, the true measure of rest lies not just in how long you sleep, but in how deeply you sleep. Someone might spend 9 hours in bed and still wake up exhausted, while another may sleep less but wake up feeling vibrant and fully refreshed because they reached deep sleep. Deep sleep is incredibly precious because it is the phase where the body undergoes its most profound healing. During this time, the brain truly rests, tissues are repaired, cells regenerate, and crucial recovery hormones are released while the immune system gets a powerful boost. The brain also takes this opportunity to clear out metabolic waste and toxins accumulated during the day, reducing the long-term risk of cognitive decline and memory loss as we age. If your sleep is fragmented, shallow, or plagued by stress, your body will struggle to enter these deep, restorative stages. Even with 8 hours of sleep, you may wake up feeling groggy, forgetful, and unfocused. However, this does not mean REM sleep is unimportant. A healthy night's sleep requires a balance of all stages, including REM sleep, which helps process emotions, consolidate memories, and foster learning. Ideally, aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep while creating the perfect environment for high-quality deep sleep. Simply put, getting enough hours of sleep is like eating enough food, while deep sleep is like ensuring those meals are packed with essential nutrients. Eating a large quantity of nutrient-poor food will still leave the body weak. Similarly, sleeping many hours without deep sleep leaves the brain and body unrecovered. What happens when you consistently sleep well for 30 days? Within just a month of high-quality, sufficient sleep, your body will begin to undergo remarkable positive transformations that you can feel every single day. First and foremost, your fully rested brain will reward you with sharper memory, clearer thinking, improved focus, and a much more stable, joyful mood. Behind the scenes, your body is quietly repairing damaged cells, boosting your immune system, and regulating vital hormones. With consistent, restful sleep, blood pressure tends to stabilize, blood sugar levels are better managed, the cardiovascular system is unburdened, and systemic inflammation decreases. Over time, this significantly lowers the risk of chronic illnesses. The most immediate change older adults notice is a newfound lightness upon waking, less morning fatigue, more physical energy for daily walks or household tasks, reduced daytime sleepiness, better appetite, and a much more optimistic outlook on life. Think of deep sleep as a silent, inner physician. Each night you rest deeply, your body is granted another opportunity to heal and restore itself. While 30 days of excellent sleep may not be a magical cure-all, it builds the essential foundation for your brain, heart, and immune system to thrive, allowing you to age gracefully, stay sharp, and enjoy life to the fullest. Conversely, what happens if chronic insomnia is left unchecked? The brain is the very first to pay the price. During deep sleep, the brain is far from idle. It activates a highly specialized glymphatic system, often compared to a nightly cleanup crew, to wash away metabolic waste accumulated throughout the day. It also consolidates memories, organizes information, and restores vital neural connections. When sleep is chronically disrupted, this vital cleanup is cut short. As a result, older adults often experience forgetfulness, difficulty remembering familiar names, poor concentration, and slower cognitive processing. While insomnia is not the sole cause of memory decline, it is a major contributing factor that can accelerate the process. Next come the heart and blood vessels. During restorative sleep, your heart rate slows, your blood pressure drops, and your cardiovascular system finally gets a break. But if your brain remains in a constant state of high alert night after night, your body pumps out excess stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate quickens, and your blood pressure fails to drop naturally at night, significantly increasing the risk of hypertension and cardiovascular disease over time. At the same time, your immune defenses weaken. A sleep-deprived body is much more vulnerable to common infections and takes longer to recover from illness, leaving its biological shield compromised against viruses and bacteria. Another overlooked consequence for older adults is the disruption of blood sugar and weight regulation. Chronic sleep loss alters the hormones that control hunger and fullness while reducing insulin sensitivity. This makes managing blood sugar levels significantly harder, especially for those dealing with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. Furthermore, chronic insomnia triggers a dangerous downward spiral. Daytime fatigue leads to a sedentary lifestyle. Lack of physical activity weakens muscles, compromises balance, and makes falling asleep even harder the following night. Over time, this increases the risk of falls, joint pain, and physical frailty. The most deceptive part of this process is how silently it unfolds. No one wakes up with a severe illness after just one bad night. But over hundreds of restless nights, the cumulative damage manifests as chronic exhaustion, memory lapses, volatile blood pressure, and premature aging. Yet, there is wonderful news. In most cases, sleep can be remarkably improved once we identify the root causes and adopt healthy sleep hygiene. Even in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, your brain and nervous system retain an incredible capacity to adapt and heal. Just a little more deep sleep each night provides your body with the invaluable time it needs to restore, rebuild, and prepare you for a healthier, more vibrant tomorrow. Why does your body temperature play such a decisive role in making you feel drowsy? While many believe that sleepiness is simply the result of physical or mental fatigue, your core body temperature actually serves as a vital master switch that regulates your entire sleep cycle. As evening approaches, your internal biological clock prompts a natural drop in core body temperature by about 0.5 to 1 degree Celsius, roughly 1 to 2 degrees Fahrenheit. As the body cools down, it triggers the brain to ramp up the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. This biochemical shift signals to your entire system that it is time to wind down, making it much easier for you to drift off into a peaceful slumber. Conversely, if your body remains too warm, whether due to muggy weather, late-night exercise, a heavy meal close to bedtime, or a poorly ventilated, stuffy bedroom, the brain struggles to release these crucial sleep signals. As a result, you find yourself tossing and turning, unable to fall into a deep, restorative sleep. This is precisely why maintaining a cool bedroom environment, wearing loose, breathable sleepwear, and taking a warm bath or shower shortly before bed are highly recommended. A warm bath, surprisingly, causes blood vessels to dilate and radiate heat outward, helping your core temperature drop rapidly afterward. This natural cooling effect prepares your body to fall asleep faster and enjoy a much deeper rest. Why is it that a tiny red standby light on your television screen has the power to keep your brain wide awake all night? Deep within your brain lies a tiny, pinecone-shaped gland called the pineal gland. Its primary job is to manufacture and release melatonin, the essential hormone that tells your body when it is time to sleep. However, the pineal gland does not make this decision on its own. It operates strictly based on the light signals received through your eyes. When darkness falls and your bedroom is sufficiently dim, your brain receives the cue that night has arrived. It then instructs the pineal gland to flood your system with melatonin, gently coaxing you into a state of drowsiness. On the contrary, if your eyes are continuously exposed to even faint light from a smartphone screen, a television, a digital clock, or other electronic devices in the room, your brain can easily be tricked into believing it is still daytime. Consequently, it delays or significantly suppresses the release of melatonin. The unfortunate result is that you struggle to fall asleep or find yourself trapped in a light, easily disrupted sleep. To cultivate the ultimate, sleep-inducing sanctuary, the solution is simple. Eliminate every trace of ambient light. Turn off all dim bulbs, and use a small piece of dark tape to cover those tiny, glowing red and blue LED indicators on your TV, air conditioner, or other devices. Pull your blackout curtains tight to block out any intrusive streetlights. Once your room is enveloped in the pure, silent embrace of total darkness, your pineal gland lets down its guard. It begins to smoothly bathe your brain in a soothing wave of natural melatonin. From there, you will gradually drift into a profound, stable, and peaceful sleep, completely shielded from the disruptive glare of stray artificial lights. What are the signs that your brain is sleep-deprived, even if you do not feel sleepy? Many people operate under the misconception that a lack of daytime drowsiness means their body is fully rested. But the truth is, a sleep-deprived brain does not always knock on your door with obvious yawns or heavy, drooping eyelids. Sometimes, after successive nights of poor or fragmented sleep, the brain silently enters a state of chronic exhaustion that we fail to recognize. Over time, your body adapts to this persistent fatigue, tricking you into accepting this depleted state as your new normal. Yet, beneath the surface, billions of neurons are forced to fire in an energy-starved condition, deprived of the critical window they need to repair and recover. This is precisely why you might notice your memory slipping. You set down your glasses and immediately forget where they are. Mid-sentence, your train of thoughts suddenly vanishes, or you find yourself struggling to recall a familiar name. This is not because your brain aged overnight, but because sleep is the designated time for your brain to sort, catalog, and solidify memories. When sleep is cut short, newly acquired information is like loose sheets of paper that have not yet been bound into a book, easily scattered and lost. At the same time, you may find yourself becoming unusually irritable, losing your temper over trivial matters, showing less patience with your children or grandchildren, or feeling a general sense of frustration without knowing why. Chronic sleep deprivation severely impairs the brain's ability to regulate emotions, amplifying minor daily stressors into overwhelming burdens. An offhand remark, a sudden noise, or a minor inconvenience can trigger intense mood swings that are far out of proportion to the situation. Furthermore, a lack of sleep directly degrades your concentration and physical balance. This explains why many experience a persistent lightheadedness, a momentary spell of dizziness upon standing, or an unsteady gait, living in a constant state of mental fog. Others suffer from frequent tension headaches or a heavy sensation in the head caused by tight, unrelaxed muscles in the neck and scalp. At the same time, the neurotransmitters responsible for regulating pain become less effective after poorly rested nights. Crucially, when the brain is starved of energy, the body scrambles to compensate. You might suddenly find yourself overeating, craving sweets, sugary drinks, or carbohydrate-heavy foods. This isn't because your stomach is empty, but because your brain is desperately seeking a quick source of glucose to stay functional. Over time, this constant seeking of quick energy can sabotage your weight, blood sugar levels, and cardiovascular health. Even your eyes are not spared from this downward spiral. After several nights of inadequate sleep, your eyes may become dry, gritty, irritated, or prone to temporary blurry vision, as the ocular surface lacks the time to regenerate. For older adults, who are already naturally prone to dry eyes, these symptoms are often much more pronounced and persistent. It is worth reflecting on the fact that the brain rarely calls for help with loud, dramatic gestures. Instead, its distress signals are quiet and subtle. A brief lapse in memory, an unexpected flash of anger, a fleeting moment of dizziness, a sudden craving for sweets, or a dry, burning sensation in your eyes. Each of these symptoms serves as a quiet warning that your brain is running on empty. Ignoring these warning signs does more than just ruin your next day with fatigue. Over time, chronic sleep debt erodes your memory, cognitive functions, emotional stability, and overall quality of life. Therefore, do not simply ask yourself if you feel sleepy. Learn to listen to the subtle signals your brain sends you every single day. Getting sufficient, High-quality sleep does not just revitalize your physical body. It is the single most valuable gift you can give yourself to preserve your memory, mental clarity, and joy during your golden years. My friends, the most precious asset in the autumn of our lives is not inanimate material wealth, but our memories. It is the ability to look at a loved one's face and speak their name, and the cognitive independence to make our own decisions. Our greatest fear as we age should not be the fine lines and wrinkles forming around our eyes, but rather the deterioration occurring within our brains, the onset of cognitive decline, dementia, or Alzheimer's disease. Many treat cognitive decline as an inevitable consequence of aging. When someone repeatedly misplaces their keys, forgets to turn off the stove, or retells the same story without realizing it, we often shrug it off, chalking it up to just getting old. Modern medicine, however, views this very differently. Cognitive decline is not a natural rite of passage for the elderly. Rather, it is the direct consequence of a brain that has been deprived of its regular waste clearance and is suffering from a breakdown in neural connectivity. Every single day, as a byproduct of normal thinking and cellular activity, our brain generates metabolic waste, including a toxic protein called amyloid beta plaque. If your brain were a room, these plaques would be like a thick layer of soot, clogging the windows and severing the vital lines of communication between your neurons. Fortunately, our bodies possess a marvelous, automated waste disposal mechanism designed to clear this soot: deep sleep. It is only when we fall into the deepest stages of sleep that our brain cells actually shrink, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to rush in and wash away these toxic plaques, flushing them out of the brain entirely. Therefore, any true effort to heal memory loss must begin by addressing and curing chronic insomnia. To reclaim your natural deep sleep, do not rush to pharmaceutical sedatives. Instead, turn to lotus plumule, the green core of the lotus seed, and goji berries, two precious gems of traditional medicine. Lotus plumule, with its bitter taste and cooling nature, acts directly on the heart meridian, helping to soothe internal heat and quiet the restless anxiety stirring in your mind. However, raw lotus plumule is highly cooling, so you should dry roast it until golden brown before brewing to temper its cold properties. Combine this roasted lotus plumule with a handful of vibrant, red goji berries. Goji berries are renowned for nourishing the kidneys and liver, brightening the eyes, and calming the spirit. A warm cup of lotus plumule and goji berry tea in the evening does more than just ease you into sleep. It acts as a chemical master switch, activating your brain's cellular waste clearance mode to run seamlessly all night long. Next, to rebuild the damaged neural pathways that have been severed, your brain desperately requires a substance called lecithin. Lecithin is a fundamental building block of the myelin sheath, the protective coating around your nerves that ensures electrical signals travel rapidly and smoothly without interruption. Remarkably, the most abundant, affordable, and bioavailable source of lecithin is found in a food that many older adults unfortunately avoid out of fear: egg yolks. Eating 3 to 4 soft-boiled or medium-boiled farm-fresh eggs each week is one of the best dietary brain boosters available. This simple habit helps maintain cognitive sharpness, improves memory retention, and keeps your reflexes quick and alert. Alongside proper nutrition and sleep, we can also stimulate our brains through physical exercise. In Eastern medicine, there is a famous saying: 10 fingers connect to the heart and mind. The motor cortex area of the brain dedicated to controlling the hands is incredibly vast. Consequently, when you keep your hands active and agile, you literally light up your brain. One of the simplest and most effective exercises to prevent cognitive decline is the 10-finger tapping method. Raise your hands to chest level, spread your fingers wide, and curve them slightly. Tap the fingertips of both hands together rhythmically, thumb to thumb, index to index, and so on. Repeat this tapping motion 100 times daily. That slight tingling sensation in your fingertips is a sign that millions of electrical impulses are firing directly into your cerebral cortex, stimulating neurons to regenerate and reconnect. Alternatively, you can use 2 walnuts or solid stone massage balls and rotate them daily in the palm of your hand. This action exercises your finger joints while serving as a high-intensity workout for your brain. My friends, glucose is not your enemy. On the contrary, it is the primary fuel of life. However, the tragedy of type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome is this. Your body is flooded with energy, yet your individual cells are literally starving to death. To understand this, imagine every cell in your body as a locked room. Your pancreas produces a hormone called insulin, which acts as the key to unlock these rooms, letting blood sugar inside to be converted into energy. As we age, especially when combined with a sedentary lifestyle and excess body fat, the locks on these cells begin to rust. The insulin key inserts, but it fails to turn. In medical terms, this is known as insulin resistance. The consequence? Your cells desperately cry out for energy, which is why people with diabetes often feel chronically fatigued and experience constant cravings. Meanwhile, the unused sugar remains trapped in the bloodstream. Over time, these floating sugar molecules act like millions of tiny, razor-sharp shards of glass, scratching and damaging every capillary they pass through. This leads to devastating complications, from retinal damage causing blindness, to kidney damage causing renal failure, and peripheral nerve damage leading to foot ulcers and amputation. Diabetes itself is not the true danger. Its complications are what carry a life-altering sentence. But the good news is that type 2 diabetes is not a matter of genetic destiny. It is a lifestyle disease, and what is created by poor habits can be successfully reversed by establishing healthy ones. Let us explore some remarkable, natural methods to restore metabolic order without resorting to ever-increasing medication doses. First, the art of reverse eating, your ultimate defense shield against blood sugar spikes. In many cultures, white rice or refined carbs are the staple of every meal, eaten first as a symbol of abundance. Forcing older adults to cut out carbohydrates completely is an absolute punishment. The good news is you do not have to give up white rice. You simply need to change the order in which you eat your food. When you sit down for a meal, never start with a mouthful of white rice on an empty stomach. Instead, begin with a small bowl of soup, followed by the green vegetables on the table. Next, move on to your proteins, meat or fish, and save the rice for last. Why does this simple shift yield such powerful results? When you consume fiber-rich vegetables first, the fiber coats your stomach and forms a dense, mesh-like barrier in your small intestine. When the carbohydrates finally arrive, this fiber mesh slows down glucose absorption, allowing sugar to enter your bloodstream in a slow, controlled drip. Instead of a blood sugar tsunami that exhausts your pancreas, reverse eating transforms your glucose levels into a gentle, calm stream. This single adjustment can slash your post-meal blood sugar spike by up to 50%. Second, utilize nature's spare keys. When your cellular locks are rusted, nature provides us with sharp alternative keys. Take guava leaf tea, for example. Do not discard the young guava leaves in your backyard. Modern science has found that guava leaves are rich in polyphenol, compounds that directly inhibit the enzymes responsible for breaking down starches in your gut. Simply wash a handful of young guava leaves, boil them, and drink the tea after a carb-heavy meal. It acts like a biological sentry, blocking starches from rapidly converting into glucose. Dried bitter melon, bitter gourd, is another remarkable remedy. Beyond its heat-clearing properties, bitter melon contains charantin, a compound scientists refer to as plant insulin. Instead of cooking it in heavy oils, slice the bitter melon thinly, dry it thoroughly under the hot sun, and lightly roast it. Steep a small handful in boiling water and sip it throughout the day. The active compounds go straight to work, encouraging your cells to absorb glucose, thereby stabilizing your blood sugar in a safe and sustainable manner. Cinnamon is a warm, aromatic spice that drastically enhances insulin sensitivity. Every morning, simply sprinkle a small pinch of cinnamon powder, about the size of a mung bean, into a glass of warm water or your morning oatmeal. Cinnamon acts like a natural scrub, clearing the rust from your cellular locks and helping your body process glucose far more efficiently. Third, utilize the golden 15 minutes after a meal. This is a highly effective physiological biohack. Many of us have the habit of sitting down to watch television or lying down to rest immediately after eating, which causes newly digested glucose to pool stagnantly in the bloodstream. Remember, your muscles are the body's largest furnaces for burning sugar. And here is the miracle. When your muscles contract during light activity, they can pull glucose directly out of the blood to use as fuel, completely bypassing the need for an insulin key. Therefore, try not to lie down for at least 15 minutes after a meal. Instead, stand up and walk gently around your home, or do light chores like washing dishes, watering plants, or wiping down the table. Just 15 to 20 minutes of light physical activity allows the large muscles in your thighs and calves to act like sponges, soaking up the excess sugar from your bloodstream to use as energy. This physical method of lowering blood sugar is incredibly powerful, rivaling the effectiveness of many medications. Fourth, ignite your metabolic engine by stimulating the systolic acupoint, ST36. Traditional Eastern medicine teaches that the spleen and stomach are the root of postnatal health, responsible for producing vital energy, qi, and blood, and managing the body's metabolic functions. Those suffering from metabolic issues or diabetes often have a cold, deficient digestive system. To strengthen this system, locate the systolic point. It is situated on the outer side of your lower leg, about 4 finger widths below the hollow of your kneecap. Every night before bed, use your thumb to apply firm, circular pressure to this point for about 3 minutes on each leg, until you feel a dull, warm sensation radiating down to your foot, often referred to as the point of longevity. Regularly massaging systolic helps rekindle your digestive fire, boost metabolism, clear visceral fat surrounding internal organs, and regulate your blood sugar from the inside out. Indeed, our body is a brilliant micro-universe with an astounding capacity for self-healing. Type 2 diabetes does not arrive to destroy us. Rather, it serves as a wake-up call, reminding us to love and respect our bodies. By adopting the habit of reverse eating, utilizing natural remedies like guava leaves and bitter melon, and taking post-meal walks, you reclaim absolute control over your health and vitality. Once your body's energy flows in perfect harmony, we arrive at the final gateway, an organ that connects our inner world to the vast universe outside. It is the very organ that dictates the length of our lives with every single breath. Let us step into our final chapter, nourishing the lungs and maintaining a peaceful breath. As the ancients wisely noted, the true length of a human life is measured in a single breath. We can survive weeks without food and days without water, but we cannot survive more than a few minutes without oxygen. Your lungs are the only internal organs that maintain a direct, continuous open door to the outside world. They draw in the life-giving essence of the air while expelling waste and carbon dioxide from deep within. Yet, in our golden years, our lungs can become like aging rubber balloons, gradually losing their natural elasticity. The tiny air sacs, alveoli, begin to collapse, and stagnant, stale air pools at the bottom of the lungs. This is why older adults often experience shallow breathing, feel winded climbing stairs, and become highly sensitive to sudden shifts in the weather. Conditions like chronic bronchitis or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, do not just cause exhausting coughing fits and sleepless nights spent gasping for air. They quietly drain your overall vitality, starving your brain and heart of the precious oxygen they need to function. But rather than waiting for chronic coughs to strike before reaching for antibiotics, we should understand that lung care is an active art practiced through every breath we take and every meal we consume. Right now, let us practice these wellness techniques to restore your vital energy and keep your breathing deep and peaceful. The first secret to revitalizing your lungs lies in a remarkably simple technique that most of us have forgotten since childhood: diaphragmatic breathing, commonly known as belly breathing. Have you ever noticed that when we are stressed or as we grow older, our breathing tends to become shallow, restricted only to the chest? In this tense state, air merely circulates through the upper third of our lungs, escaping back out before it can do any real good. Consequently, the deep, lower regions of your lungs are left completely neglected, turning into a stagnant pool where stale air, cellular debris, and toxins accumulate over time. To thoroughly clear out this stagnant area, you need to practice the art of belly breathing. First, gently place one hand on your abdomen. Inhale slowly and deeply through your nose, imagining the life-giving air traveling all the way down to your navel. Let your belly expand fully like a balloon, gently pushing your hand outward. Next, purse your lips slightly, as if you are about to blow a flute, and exhale as slowly and completely as possible. At the same time, gently draw your abdomen inward, squeezing out every last drop of stale, stagnant air from the very bottom of your lungs. As a rule of thumb, your exhalation should always last twice as long as your inhalation. By dedicating just 10 minutes a day to sitting quietly and practicing this diaphragmatic breathing, you are giving all your internal organs a wonderful, revitalizing massage. At the same time, you are maximizing your lungs' vital capacity, allowing you to breathe with newfound ease. The second secret to lung health comes from the ancient nutritional wisdom of Eastern medicine. In traditional Chinese medicine, there is a fundamental guiding principle. Asterisk, the lungs thrive on moisture and detest dryness. Asterisk, this means your lungs require a well-hydrated, lubricated environment to function optimally, and they are highly vulnerable to hot, dry conditions. Eastern medicine also introduces a fascinating color therapy principle. White-colored foods naturally enter the lung meridian to nourish, protect, and heal. Topping this list of white superfoods is the humble white radish, historically revered as the winter ginseng. White radish is packed with active natural enzymes and mustard oil compounds, which possess powerful properties that dissolve stubborn phlegm, clear internal heat, and open up the airways. For those struggling with dry coughs, thick congestion, or chronic sore throats, simply julienne a fresh white radish and simmer it slowly with tender pork ribs, or boil it to make a soothing, warm broth. You will find that the stubborn mucus naturally thins out and dissipates, quickly restoring a wonderful sense of clarity and comfort to your throat. The second white superfood you should embrace is the Asian pear. When the seasons shift and chilly autumn winds begin to sweep in, prepare yourself a warm, comforting bowl of steamed pear with rock sugar. Simply core a fresh pear and fill the center with a few crystals of rock sugar, a few slivers of fresh ginger, and a handful of goji berries. Steam the whole pear gently for about 30 minutes. Once cooked, the pear becomes tender, translucent, and infused with a sweet, medicinal syrup. This is an invaluable remedy for nourishing the lungs, delivering deep moisture straight to the delicate alveoli, healing raw tissues damaged by chronic coughing, and shielding your respiratory tract from harsh environmental elements. The final secret to revitalizing your respiratory system is a simple technique to clear the energy pathways of the chest, the lung meridian tapping exercise. Our lung meridian originates in the upper chest, just beneath the collarbone, runs down the inner aspect of the arm, and ends at the tip of the thumb. Every morning, when you step out into the crisp, fresh air, stand tall, stretch your arms, and take a deep, cleansing breath. Next, cup your hands slightly to create a hollow space in your palms, and gently but firmly tap the chest areas right beneath your collarbones on both sides. The rhythmic, hollow tapping sound will create gentle mechanical vibrations that resonate deep within your chest cavity. These therapeutic vibrations work wonders by loosening stubborn phlegm and breaking up the sticky mucus clinging to your bronchial walls. At the same time, this physical stimulation boosts your local immune system, activating your body's natural defenses to build an invisible shield against invading viruses and bacteria. My friends, aging is an inevitable law of nature, but how we grow older is entirely our own choice. Through the small, mindful habits we practice in our kitchens, the steady and conscious breaths we take each morning, and a sense of presence in every step of our journey, we can absolutely cultivate a life of true freedom, one that is free from pain, free from limitations, and free from being a burden to those we love. Thank you for dedicating this precious time to yourself and for walking alongside us on this special journey of wellness. We sincerely wish you and your family abundant health, a serene mind, and a deeply meaningful, fulfilling life. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again on our next journey.